Akira was an exploited worker who wanted to give up on everything because he was a complete failure with women. But when the undead start taking over the streets, he realizes he finally has an excuse to quit his shitty job and go after the hot girl he always dreamed of winning over in the apocalypse. Before all the shit started, Akira was super excited on his first day at the new company. When the boss shows him where he'll be sitting, the poor guy accidentally bumps into the office goddess. He completely froze when he saw Saori's beautiful face. She was super nice to him, offering help whenever he needed it. And at that exact moment, an arrow pierced through Akira's chest. Hours later, he's at a restaurant with his work crew getting drunk, and guess who shows up? Saori. He gets all nervous wanting to make a good impression because she's exactly his type. But then comes the bizarre part. When the party ends, instead of everyone heading home, the guys simply get up and go back to the office. Akira is in complete shock when he realizes the crew is going to work all night. The poor guy spends entire days without leaving the office until he finally manages to crawl home to sleep, understanding he's fallen into a company that literally sucks the soul out of its employees. In the first year in that corporate hell, he discovers that sleeping at the office is practically mandatory. Vacation is a mythological concept, and his salary always arrives with a small delay of weeks. When the second year arrives, Akira is literally praying for a meteor to fall on the building. But right then, Saori appears walking toward him with a lunchbox. The only reason he doesn't completely lose it is this girl he's hopelessly in love with. The problem is that Akira also discovered that every single day, the boss calls Saori into his office for some very suspicious overtime. By the third year, exhaustion completely destroys what was left of him, and Akira plunges headfirst into deep depression. Every night before passing out, he begs the universe not to wake up the next day. But one random morning, while dragging himself to another day of torture, he comes face to face with a collection notice stuck on his door. He goes downstairs to sort it out with the building manager and keeps knocking on the guy's door forever, but no answer. Since the door is ajar, Akira peeks in and sees some dude literally chewing on another person. The guy lunges at him in one jump, and Akira runs away desperate. But when he reaches the hallway, there's a whole crowd of people-hungry folks running after him. That's when it clicks. They're real zombies. At that moment, an epiphany illuminates Akira's mind. He doesn't need to show up at that cursed company anymore. Suddenly, his world explodes in a rainbow of vibrant colors. Feeling free for the first time in years, he jumps from the balcony and runs away from the zombies with the biggest smile on his face. He finally remembers what it's like to be alive, realizing that the zombie apocalypse just gave him his first day off ever. Completely pumped up, he starts planning everything he's going to do on this forced end-of-the-world vacation and suddenly remembers Saori. Is she okay? He doesn't even care if she's already taken or whatever, he just really wants to see her again. So he heads to her apartment, completely determined to finally come clean, even with the building full of undead wanting to take a bite out of him. When he finally reaches the door, that classic nervousness hits and he doesn't know what to say. He rings the doorbell. Nothing. Opens the door slowly and sees a pair of men's shoes at the entrance. Suddenly, his boss appears in just his underwear. As a zombie, Akira takes the opportunity to finally say everything he always wanted to, that he's quitting because that job is complete garbage. With a strength he didn't even know he had, Akira throws the boss out the window, finally getting rid of him. Still trying to process what he just did, Saori appears in front of him. Akira's heart breaks into 1,000 pieces when he realizes she also turned into a zombie after hooking up with that disgusting boss. Crying hard, he confesses all the love he always felt for her, but can't bring himself to hurt her, so he simply runs away, leaving behind the woman of his life. That same night, Akira takes refuge in an empty convenience store. He grabs a cold drink and is amazed by the incredible flavor. He finally gets it. He'll never have to face that hellish office again, but he could also die at any moment or turn into a zombie. Right there in the store, he grabs a notebook and starts writing a list. 100 things he wants to do before kicking the bucket or becoming undead. A few days later, Akira has a nightmare where a coworker keeps screaming at him to finish the pending tasks already. In the dream, he works so frantically that blood even starts gushing from his hands and the coworker's head. Suddenly, Akira wakes up startled and realizes it was just a horrible dream. But then comes the best part. He remembers he'll never have to work again because of the zombie apocalypse. This gets him so pumped that he decides to do something revolutionary, clean his filthy room that hasn't seen a broom in years. While tidying up everything, Akira realizes he hasn't felt this excited in an absurd amount of time, and seeing the clean room brings an inexplicable peace. Then he grabs a beer and downs it, happy as can be to enjoy something tasty while killing the job. While drinking, he turns on the TV to watch the news and discovers that all of Tokyo is on fire because of the zombie invasion. He even thinks a bit about the future, but decides to leave worries for later, preferring to relax and down a few more beers. When he goes to the fridge to get another one, he gets a shock. He's out of beer. With no option, he needs to make a rescue mission to the store. He peeks out the window and sees the damage outside. Meanwhile, in the building next door, a couple is in total panic trying to figure out what to do. The guy tries to calm the girl down, but she's so desperate she makes him nervous too. He goes out to the balcony to breathe and almost has a fit when he sees Akira climbing down the wall next to him. Akira introduces himself and explains he needs to go down through their balcony because his building's staircase is packed with zombies. The guy offers to let him in, but Akira politely refuses, saying he has an important mission: get to the convenience store. The couple is stunned, but then asks him to bring some supplies since he's going out anyway. Akira agrees easily and heads to the store on a bicycle, noticing that the number of zombies has increased like crazy since yesterday. He knows if he gets surrounded, it could be the end, but whatever, he just wants that beer. When he arrives at the store, he's all happy humming a song, but inside there's a surprise: a super hot survivor girl. He gets all awkward, remembering he was singing like a crazy person seconds ago. He tries to make conversation explaining why he's there, but she doesn't even respond. Before leaving, he offers to exchange contacts, but she gives him a flat no, saying he clearly doesn't know how to assess risks. After all, he's running after beer instead of grabbing essential supplies, like a complete irresponsible idiot. Before Akira can respond with anything, a horde of zombies invades the store. He automatically tries to protect the girl, but she throws him to the ground just as a truck crashes through the store, running over all the zombies and saving them both. The girl leaves on a bike without saying much, and Akira is stunned at having met someone so badass and beautiful at the same time. When he leaves the store, the zombies start running after him. The bike was destroyed by the truck and he has no idea how to get back home, but he sees an abandoned scooter on the street. Excited, he thinks it's an upgrade that will help him escape the zombies, but then realizes he can get something even better. He finds a Harley with the keys still in the ignition. Grinning from ear to ear, Akira mounts the motorcycle and speeds back home, almost dying several times on the way. Finally, Akira arrives at the apartment. He climbs up to the neighbor's balcony, reflecting on how intense the day was. But when he goes to deliver the supplies to the couple from before, he discovers the place was attacked, and both are dead. At midnight, Akira drinks the beer he got while watching the news. He realizes life is too short, and he needs to do more things before he dies. He opens the notebook with the list of 100 wishes and starts writing. Climb a mountain, meet his idol Johnny Sins. In the middle of the list, he stops to think about his parents and adds the wish to go back home and spend time with them, finishing the list at 33 wishes. Meanwhile, on the same day Akira went out for beer, the tough girl he met woke up in her apartment. She starts the day on the treadmill, exercising and drinking protein. While running, she hears the news confirming the zombie apocalypse. Determined, the girl creates her own list of 100 items, but hers are strict survival rules, like the ones from Zombieland. Then she watches several zombie movies to study the different types. To complete the preparations, she decides to observe the zombies around her apartment. She realizes that if she faces multiple types at the same time, her survival chances plummet drastically. Knowing she needs to gather resources, she goes by bike to a convenience store. She installs a camera to detect nearby zombies. While collecting supplies, she sees a delicious Sakura sweet. Tempted, she almost grabs it but stops, remembering one of her rules: minimize sugar consumption. At that moment, the sensors warn that someone is nearby. She investigates and is surprised to see another survivor, Akira. When he enters the store, she stays quiet, observing his reaction. She quickly realizes he's harmless, but is disappointed seeing him grab beer instead of essential items. Soon after, zombies start gathering outside, attracted because of him. When Akira tries to talk to her, the zombies invade. Akira tries to protect her, but she quickly throws him to the ground as the truck runs over the zombies as planned. The girl leaves the store impressed that someone as irresponsible as Akira managed to survive this long. Relieved to have survived and gotten supplies, she later reviews the camera footage to analyze zombie behavior. But then she sees the recording of Akira, him smiling and happily drinking beer in the middle of the apocalypse. The scene surprises her and makes her regret not grabbing that Sakura sweet to enjoy life even just a little bit like him. Somewhere in Shinjuku district, inside a host club, #1 host Sho and his colleagues try to calm a girl who's crying because she lost her parents. Shu offers sweets to ease her sadness, but she won't stop crying. Then Shu's friend arrives and warns that zombies are surrounding the place. Shu politely tells the girl he needs to do something and has to leave her alone, but she starts trembling uncontrollably. Noticing this, Sho promises he'll come back for her, which finally calms her down. Then Shu and his friends grab weapons and Molotov cocktails, preparing to defend the area from zombies. The horde approaches, and during the fight, One of them is wounded and infected. While the battle happens, Akira arrives in Shinjuku on a motorcycle. He's shocked by the absurd amount of zombies in the city, but none of that stops him because he's looking for his best friend, Kenichiro. A few hours earlier, Akira wakes up and notices his beard is starting to grow. He tries to find inspiration to let it grow since quitting his job makes him want to try new things from the list. After drawing a fake beard on his face, he decides to erase the idea and continue with a clean face. Then his phone beeps with a friend request notification. Excited, Akira checks the app to see who's online. He waits for hours, but boredom hits when he realizes not many survivors are left. Suddenly, he remembers Kenichiro. He's absolutely sure his old friend is still alive, totally convinced of Kenichiro's strength and resilience. Meanwhile, inside a club, Kenichiro peeks into the hallway and sees it packed with zombies. Thirsty, he drinks the last bottle of water. Frustrated after days without food, what frustrates him most is that the girl he rented to have fun with is now infected and turned into a zombie inside the room. Luckily, Kenichiro's taste for handcuffs keeps her tied up, preventing her from moving. Starving and exhausted, Kenichiro suddenly remembers Akira, who always laughed at all his bad jokes. Suddenly, the phone rings. He answers, shocked to hear Akira alive and well. Akira chats with him, telling him to cheer up, speaking so calmly that Kenichiro is stunned. Kenichiro explains he's trapped in Shinjuku and that no one can save him because of the zombies around. But Akira doesn't care and tells Kenichiro to text him the address and hangs up before Kenichiro can protest. Heading toward Shinjuku, Akira remembers the past with Kenichiro. In college, Kenichiro was popular, but that never got in the way of their friendship. Years later, Kenichiro became a successful real estate broker, while Akira remained stuck in the soul-sucking job. At a reunion dinner, Kenichiro bragged about his personal life, leaving Akira frustrated. Kenichiro warned him to quit his job, but Akira exploded, accusing him of showing off, which shook their friendship. Now Akira regrets having spent years in a job he hated, and saving Kenichiro seems like a chance to relive the fun old times. Back in Shinjuku, Shu is the last survivor. He accepts his fate, finding a noble way to die after everything he's done. When a zombie advances on him, suddenly a car horn sounds loud, attracting all the zombies away, and Shu can't believe he's still alive. The zombies from Kenichiro's hotel are also attracted by the sound. They surround the car, which then explodes, and it was Akira who set this up. Hearing the noise, Kenichiro goes into the hallway and is stunned to find it zombie-free. He looks for a safe place, but suddenly is greeted by Akira, which shocks him. Akira shouts an apology for the fight, admitting his jealousy of Kenichiro's success and confessing he regrets not following his advice. Kenichiro is speechless, confused that Akira came all the way here just to apologize. Before he can respond, zombies invade the hotel because of Akira's shouted apology. The two are forced to flee to the roof. With time running out, Kenichiro panics, convinced it's the end. But Akira has another plan. He tells Kenichiro they need to jump to the building next door. Kenichiro thinks it's impossible, but Akira jumps anyway, landing with some injuries but surviving. He urges Kenichiro to follow, and terrified, Kenichiro admits he can't jump. He confesses he hates his job, revealing that behind the smiles and flashy lifestyle, he feels empty. All the wealth and success are a facade, because he never liked being a broker, and what he really wanted was to be a stand-up comedian. Akira encourages him, saying that as a friend he has to listen to the advice this time. He urges Kenichiro to quit his job and jump toward his real dream. Kenichiro finally understands. Taking a few steps back, he runs and jumps while the zombies almost grab him. The wind tears his clothes, leaving him embarrassingly exposed, and Akira bursts out laughing at the scene. In the air, Kenichiro realizes he won't make it, desperately clinging to the edge. He calls Akira, begging for help. When he's about to fall, Akira suddenly grabs his hand and pulls him up. Kenichiro survives, though injured. Akira is worried he was bitten, but Kenichiro explains he only scraped his balls. That night, the two relax naked on the roof drinking beers. They laugh about work, life, and the future. Kenichiro admits he admires Akira, seeing him as someone who quit his job, embraced freedom, and might even succeed in a zombie apocalypse. But they both laugh at the idea, knowing they can't save the world. Days later, still on the roof while Akira plays zombie games, Kenichiro cooks their delicious lunch. Akira and Kenichiro agree that doing homemade camping in the middle of Tokyo is a genius idea. Then, after Akira finishes the game, they go eat. Akira is surprised by Kenichiro's food and feels jealous because Kenichiro says cooking is the key to winning over girls. Akira swears to Kenichiro he'll get a girl to prove him wrong. And despite the zombie apocalypse, Kenichiro still wishes him good luck. After lunch, Akira goes back to playing more games. While Kenichiro reads Akira's list of 100 wishes, Kenichiro feels that Akira's mind is still stuck at work when he wrote the list because the things he wrote are too surreal. So Kenichiro writes a bunch of his own wishes because Akira hasn't written 100 yet. Akira tries to stop him, but Kenichiro reminds him that if Akira hadn't saved him, he could have died in a random love hotel in Shinjuku. Hearing this, Akira lets Kenichiro write on the list. Then Akira writes that he wants a mega television, so they decide to go look for one. On the way, Akira asks Kenichiro why he wants to be a stand-up comedian. Kenichiro explains that even though he's far from becoming one, it's always been his dream since childhood. Akira then wonders what his own childhood dream was, and is confused if working in an office could count as one. Akira stops the motorcycle when they reach a dead end facing a path full of fire. Even though the TV store is within reach, suddenly a fuel truck starts creating chaos, sending cars flying. Akira and Kenichiro are cornered, and Kenichiro starts screaming for Akira to do something, knowing the truck will explode when it reaches them. Akira weighs the risks, then remembers the tough girl and has an idea. As the truck comes toward them, Akira goes up a ramp, swerving at the right time. He then goes into the underground mall to protect himself from the explosion caused by the truck's gas tank. Kenichiro can't believe Akira thought of something like that. But when they arrive inside the underground mall, they find themselves surrounded by zombies. They see a store nearby, so they abandon the motorcycle and run inside, quickly closing the gate to block the zombies. Kenichiro panics and can't believe how Akira remains calm, still thinking about televisions at such a critical moment. When they finally catch their breath, a group of girls suddenly appears. The girls shine flashlights on them and sigh in relief, realizing Akira and Kenichiro aren't infected. One of the girls starts panicking about being trapped, but Kenichiro calms her down, encouraging her to think positive. His words inspire the group, and they go to the beverage section. Everyone grabs drinks and snacks to clear their heads. Akira and Kenichiro exchange a look, realizing they just completed the list item about dining and drinking wine. Soon the girls introduce themselves as Reika, Maki, and Yukari, who are all flight attendants. Akira and Kenichiro are impressed with their luck, since the list item is precisely to dine and drink wine with flight attendants. Akira tries to talk to Yukari, asking if she has a boyfriend. However, Yukari doesn't like him asking something like that in such a terrible situation. Embarrassed, Akira turns to Kenichiro asking for help, but to his surprise, Kenichiro is already flirting with Maki. And unlike Akira, Kenichiro's chat is actually working with Maki. Jealous of Kenichiro's humor and appearance, Akira remembers what Kenichiro said at lunch about cooking and girls. Determined to impress, Akira boldly introduces himself to the group and downs an entire bottle of tequila. Amused, Reika joins him with more alcohol, and soon the group gets more animated because of Akira's reckless attitude. Later, Kenichiro and Maki escape to the bed section for some intimate time. Meanwhile, Akira stumbles to the bathroom to throw up. While he's feeling sick at the sink, Yukari comes in to help him. Akira is surprised by Yukari's kindness and starts thinking she might have feelings for him. She admits she's worried about him for drinking so much, but then reveals she already has a boyfriend she wants to see again soon. Akira is disappointed but grateful for the brief moment he could dream. Meanwhile, Reika drinks heavily and starts complaining about her problems. The guy in the group, already bitten by a zombie, gets worse. He crawls toward Reika while she's too drunk to notice. Suddenly, he attacks her and she screams. Kenichiro, hearing, wants to go help, but drunk Maki clings to him, asking for another round. He insists and drags her along only to discover Reika has already turned into a zombie. Horrified, he sees Reika attack and devour Maki. Kenichiro blames himself for letting someone die, but is more alarmed when he realizes the bitten man has disappeared. Meanwhile, Akira and Yukari sit together on the stairway, talking about her work as a flight attendant. Akira relates by opening up about his office job, saying working was always just a borrowed dream. Yukari admits she didn't enjoy her job either. But after Akira asks what her real dream was, she starts reflecting positively about it. Suddenly, the bitten man attacks them and bites Yukari. Akira pushes him down the stairs, but Yukari tells Akira to leave her behind. Akira refuses, unable to abandon her right after they connected. Yukari explains why she rubbed his back, because when she was a child, a flight attendant did the same to calm her during a flight. From that moment, she was inspired to become one, realizing it had been her dream all along. Akira cries while she says her last words. The bitten man returns and attacks again, but Yukari sacrifices herself to hold him back. Akira flees sobbing until he finds Kenichiro. Relieved, Akira discovers Kenichiro found a mega television. They realize they need to get out fast because everyone inside is now infected. They run outside, finding the streets clear of zombies, and run back home with their prize. That night, while Kenichiro makes dinner, He talks about how traumatized he feels after losing the flight attendants. Meanwhile, Akira reflects on Kenichiro and Yukari's words about childhood dreams. With new determination, Akira writes a new item on the wish list: remember childhood dream. When Akira was little, he once saved a friend's dog from some guys. He calls himself Akira, the superhero of justice who's not afraid of anything. But then, he wakes up and realizes it was a dream. He sees the wish list that reminds him of his childhood dream. That night, Kenichiro informs Akira that all of Japan isn't safe. However, some villages manage to isolate themselves in Hokkaido, which means Akira's family could still be alive. Then Kenichiro decides he wants to go blonde and says he wants to move forward from his past life, inspired by Akira's aspirations, and also wants to look good to pursue his dream of becoming a comedian. Seeing Kenichiro with blonde hair, Akira remembers what Kenichiro and Yukari said about childhood dreams. Suddenly, Akira tells Kenichiro he wants to become a superhero. He explains he always wanted to be like Batman or Spider-Man, saving people in a cool suit without reward. He says he wants to help people no matter what, and the core idea is to become a superhero who saves humanity from zombies. Kenichiro is surprised by Akira's excitement, but supports him completely. Although Akira can't fly or shoot webs, he's already researched how to defeat zombies. Together, Kenichiro and Akira go to the aquarium, excited because they can access the back rooms. Kenichiro is nervous since the aquarium is in terrible condition and could collapse any day. Exploring, Akira finds what he needs: a special spandex suit, and he spray paints it, transforming it into a superhero costume. Meanwhile, in the city, a group of survivors is trapped inside a bus that ran out of gas. They panic, debating what to do, but the driver suggests waiting for the zombies to leave. Suddenly, a passenger reveals himself as infected and attacks the others. The group is forced to exit the bus only to be surrounded by zombies. A girl manages to break free and runs toward the aquarium. Chased by a horde, she trips, and just when a zombie advances on her, Akira appears and saves her. Akira beams with excitement and asks Kenichiro what he thinks of the costume, but Kenichiro shrugs, not knowing what to say. It turns out the diving suit he got was built strong enough to resist shark bites, making him invulnerable to zombies. More survivors start arriving at the aquarium, and to Akira's shock, the tough girl from before is among them. Determined to impress her, he springs into action. While Kenichiro helps guide survivors inside, Akira faces a zombie, but he struggles when one manages to bite his arm. The suit prevents the bite from piercing his skin, but he still feels the pressure. Soon, more zombies appear and overwhelm him. Akira calls for Kenichiro, but Kenichiro refuses, knowing there's only one suit and trusting that Akira will be fine. Eventually, Akira throws the zombies off a bridge. But when he looks up, he sees the girl looking at him with disgust, not at all impressed that he's doing idiot cosplay in a situation like this. Inside, the survivors rest. The girl Akira saved is relieved and grateful, and Kenichiro praises Akira for being a decent hero. Noticing Akira staring at the girl, he encourages him to talk to her. Akira approaches and reminds the girl they met at the convenience store, and she remembers his dumb face but remains unimpressed. When Akira asks to exchange contacts, she criticizes his reckless actions of playing hero, calling Akira's behavior a sign of low self-esteem and a coping mechanism to cover it up by becoming a hero. Kenichiro tries to defend him, but is intimidated after hearing her logic. Suddenly, a loud noise echoes through the aquarium. Akira and Kenichiro run to investigate, finding water leaking into the hallway. To their horror, a giant great white shark appears, but this one has legs. They warn the others, causing panic. The shark breaks through the aquarium walls, confusing Akira. The girl explains the shark must have eaten infected divers, and the parasites inside it are controlling it. The group flees upstairs, but zombies block the emergency exit. The girl remembers the layout from before and guides them to another exit. As they run, the not-so-baby shark bursts into the room, shredding zombies. The girl Akira rescued earlier panics, but the girl calms her down until the girl suddenly pushes her aside and runs to safety, leaving her behind. Kenichiro and the others escape through the emergency exit, but Akira notices the girl didn't follow. He immediately goes back for her while Kenichiro tries to reopen the locked door. The girl admits she hates traveling in large groups, believing they only increase her risk of dying. When the shark advances on her, Akira bursts in and spears this crazed giant sushi. The girl calls him an idiot for taking the risk, but Akira insists that if he meets a pretty girl, he wants to know her, and if he sees someone in danger, he wants to save them. He says that's what it means to be a hero. With no plan, the two are forced to run in circles fleeing from the shark. The girl thinks of a strategy, but needs Akira to take a risk, and he bravely agrees. They split up, Akira distracting the shark while the girl searches for equipment. She remembers reading that sharks have a weakness to strong electricity and runs to find batteries. Akira narrowly dodges the shark's attacks, but eventually trips and falls. Cornered, he braces himself. At that moment, Kenichiro reappears, showing the shark his starfish to distract it and buy time. The shark almost devours Kenichiro, but Akira challenges it directly, summoning courage like a true hero facing his arch-enemy. The girl runs back with working batteries, handing them to Akira. When the shark advances, Akira activates the batteries and punches it right in the face, defeating it once and for all. With the monster dead, Akira, Kenichiro, and the girl regroup, while the other survivors separate from them. Akira crosses off another wish list item of becoming a superhero. Knowing he did it, Kenichiro teases that he makes a great pair with the girl, which makes him awkward. As they walk together, the girl notices Akira's notebook with the list of 100 wishes. She pauses and reveals she has her own list, not of dreams, but of strict rules to ensure she'll survive. She explains the different objectives, saying they make her incompatible with Akira's carefree lifestyle. But Akira says he doesn't care, and that she's important to him. He saved her not to impress her, but simply because he wanted to, and his sincerity makes her give in. Later, when Akira and Kenichiro prepare to leave by bike, the girl says she'll be fine alone and plans to find another safe place. But before they go, she gives her number to Akira, and he accepts happily. Finally knowing her name is Shizuka. Finally getting the girl's contact, Akira feels radiant. His life is improving, and with Kenichiro by his side, he decides they should go to Gunma to meet his parents. Later, Akira and Kenichiro go to a watch store where Akira finds an expensive watch. Akira decides to steal it because it's the zombie apocalypse, but then Kenichiro shows Akira he found an even more expensive watch. The two wear suits and use the watches to complete one of the wish list items. At midnight, Akira and Kenichiro realize the water ran out and all electricity in Tokyo went down. They already charged their phones, but can't watch news or get updates, and they know they need to get serious. But Akira tells Kenichiro to look at the stars, and both are amazed by the brightness of the stars in Tokyo, now that the city lights have gone out. Seeing the stars makes Akira think of his parents, and Kenichiro comforts him saying they're still alive. Akira agrees because the next journey is to his hometown, Gunma. The next morning, Akira and Kenichiro pack things to prepare for the trip. After packing, Akira goes to his old room and says goodbye to college life and the office for the last time. They prepare to go to Gunma, where Akira reveals it will take hours of travel to get there. But before going, he says he wants to steal something. Kenichiro thinks Akira wants a real gun to exercise the Second Amendment. But Akira reveals he wants a trailer, a place where two bros can sleep, cook, travel, and cozy up during the zombie apocalypse. The two agree with the idea, so they go to a trailer store where they find Shizuka. Akira is surprised to see Shizuka there, and feels they were made for each other since this is the third time they've met by coincidence. Kenichiro and Akira realize Shizuka is planning to leave Tokyo, so Akira asks her to go to Gunma with them. Shizuka refuses, saying she doesn't see any benefit in teaming up with these idiots because she doesn't think there's enough reason to join. Akira is heartbroken hearing this. Kenichiro then asks what she's doing there. Shizuka explains she watched hundreds of zombie movies and knows a trailer is a great way to travel. Akira gets excited that she shares the same idea and asks again for her to join, but she refuses once more. Kenichiro then checkmates by pointing out she doesn't have a driver's license, meaning she could get hurt traveling alone. Akira agrees, saying traveling together is safer and more fun, especially with someone who knows how to drive, which forces Shizuka to join them. Everyone enters the trailer store, marveling at the many different models. While the guys look at trailers, Shizuka examines which would actually be best for the zombie apocalypse. She eventually finds a suitable off-road model that can easily pass by zombies. When she goes to show them, however, Akira and Kenichiro have already chosen the most expensive trailer. Akira loves it because it has everything he could want, but Shizuka disagrees, pointing out it's too big to pass through abandoned cars on the road. She then points to the one she chose, but Kenichiro urges her to have a little fun, guessing she must have a favorite trailer too. She thinks it's idiotic to have fun, but spots a trailer with luxurious Bali-style interior and immediately falls in love. Kenichiro teases her for falling in love with a trailer, but while they argue about which trailer to get, zombies suddenly invade the dealership, forcing the trio to grab the nearest trailer and escape immediately. Akira and Shizuka drive the trailer, while Kenichiro rides the motorcycle on the road. Akira notes how everything seems quiet. Shizuka explains that maybe people didn't have time to escape because the virus spread too fast. She says the only thing capable of making people aggressive like zombies is a virus, and that somewhere out there people must be working on a vaccine. But despite that, Shizuka admits she doesn't care much because her job and her group are barely surviving. After hours of driving, Gunma appears in sight. Akira feels exhausted and suggests they stop at the next gas station, making it their first night in the trailer. Suddenly, the trailer and motorcycle tires blow out after running over spike strips left on the road. Akira is shocked and runs to check on Kenichiro, who got hurt falling off the motorcycle. But then buses appear, and Akira is stunned to see his old annoying and ugly colleague, Gonzu. Seeing Gonzo with his baseball team makes Akira remember how much Gonzu contributed to his depression when he worked at the office. Gonzu tells Akira he's impressed that a guy like him managed to survive an apocalypse. Akira feels relieved that Gonzu is alive too, until suddenly he doubles over in stomach pain. Gonzu then tells Akira that his bus has everything necessary for the trailer, but Akira has to work for him for 2 days in exchange. Hearing the offer makes Akira tremble with fear, since it seems to be falling back into the old depressing routine. Shizuka notices Akira trembling and confronts Gonzu, accusing him of manipulating people to do his dirty work so he can loot them. But Akira and his friends are cornered with zombies starting to approach. Afraid and pressured, Akira accepts Gonzo's offer, which makes Gonzo smile satisfied. They're then taken to the gas station Gonzo controls. At the station, Akira sees that Gonzo has workers who look exhausted and depressed. Gonzo appears and tells Akira that they've known each other a long time, and he believes Akira won't feel tired doing this work. Meanwhile, Shizuka tends to Kenichiro's injuries. Kenichiro blames himself for forcing Akira into a job he hates, but Shizuka reassures him, saying it's not his fault, and says they should wait and see if Akira really only works for 2 days. The next day, Akira moves boxes and feels like he's back at his old office job, but tries to stay positive, remembering he wants to change. Then he discovers boxes of beer in a cargo truck and decides to put them in a refrigerator, thinking it might cheer up the tired workers with a party at night. Suddenly, Gonzu comes in and yells at him for doing this, terrifying Akira. But then Gonzu's friends arrive and see the beers in the refrigerator. They assume Gonzu provided them and praise him for being generous. Gonzu pretends to agree and declares they'll have a little party to welcome Akira, which makes Akira furious inside. Later, Akira notices Gonzo is using zombies as workers. Gonzo explains that zombies can be great equipment if handled properly, and then tells Akira that he's also nothing more than equipment just like the zombies as long as he stays quiet and follows orders. Hearing this makes Akira lose himself in the routine, blinded by work again until he starts moving like a zombie. Meanwhile, Kenichiro tries to understand why Gonzu talks to Akira that way. However, Shizuka knows immediately since Gonzu reminds her of her father who used to abuse her, and she realizes that both she and Akira are haunted by the fear left by abusive people who once controlled their lives. When Gonzu's party begins, Shizuka remembers her past with her father. She once found an abandoned dog on the streets, so she brought it home only for her father to tell her to get rid of it. He didn't want her to waste time with the dog since he wanted her to spend her life being successful. Shizuka eventually had to get rid of the dog because her father warned she could be abandoned just like the dog. Gonzu's party begins, and his friends drink cold beers to welcome Akira and the group, but Akira doesn't join because Gonzu forces him to work as a waiter. When Gonzu's friends finish their beer, Akira immediately serves them, but feels scared because it reminds him of his old office job. Then, when Gonzu finishes his beer, he's served by an old woman, which makes him furious because he only wants to be served by hot girls. He orders Shizuka to serve him, and when Shizuka pours the drink, Gonzu notices her body. He tells her to have a drink with him, and when she accepts, she downs the entire bottle alone. Gonzu is impressed, making a vulgar joke that beer isn't the only thing he wants her to swallow, and then orders Akira to bring more. Akira accidentally serves an empty bottle, which makes Gonzu furious. He yells at Akira, traumatizing him. While Akira stands frozen, Shizuka sits silently remembering her past and how Gonzu reminds her of her father. After Shizuka is born, everything she does is based on her father's forced expectations. Her father, who was a feared financier, dictates all her choices. Shizuka never gets rid of the abandoned dog. She secretly cares for it, even studying medical books about animals, and the dog becomes close to her. One day, she tells her father she wants to be a doctor, but he dismisses her, pointing out only the negatives, and even informed her he sacrificed the dog for her, which broke her heart. As she gets older, her father continues to say what's good and what's bad, constantly reminding her that he supports her luxurious life. Gonzo's words about staying quiet and following orders hit deeply, reminding her of her father, the reason she is who she is now. The day after the welcome party, Shizuka sees Akira getting yelled at again by Gonzu. Akira accidentally drops supplies, which infuriates Gonzu. He blames Akira for everything, leaving him confused. Then after yelling at him, Gonzu suddenly praises him. He tells Akira that freedom is difficult because it forces him to think for himself. but living under Gonzo is easier since he just needs to obey orders, and life will continue smoothly. Shizuka immediately recognizes Gonzo's manipulation, echoing her own past. Her father once said that if she wanted to win, she had to follow his orders. He claimed it was all for her benefit, but she knows now it was always for his. While everyone rests, Shizuka accidentally knocks over Akira's backpack and finds the wish list book. She flips through it, smiling at how strange Akira is before writing something inside herself. The next day, Gonzo's friends return from the city with supplies, but one of them accidentally brings a zombie inside the cargo truck. Back at the station, Akira's 2-day contract ends, and Kenichiro apologizes to him for the mess. To their shock, Akira decides to stay, manipulated by Gonzo. Akira admits he's afraid of living out there and prefers the safety Gonzo provides. Kenichiro finds this strange since Akira isn't like this, but when Shizuka tells Kenichiro they need to leave him since it's Akira's choice, Akira insists he has to repay Gonzo's kindness. This infuriates Shizuka, reminding her again of her father. She yells at Akira, calling him blind, and explains that Gonzo is manipulating him to satisfy his endless desires. She reveals she was the same way once, but Akira opened her eyes to live freely by her own will. She declares she wants to leave Gonzo behind with everything she can, shocking everyone. She challenges Akira, asking if he's a zombie or human because she knows he still wants to complete the wish list. Shizuka hands Akira his book where he sees she wrote an entry to tell the annoying boss to choke on a stick. Gonzo gets irritated knowing women would do something like that, but when he sees the wish list, he grabs it and steps on it. When Gonzo is about to crush the book, Akira remembers the lists he's already completed and the joy they gave him. This awakens him from the trance. He lunges forward to protect the book, shocking Gonzo. Akira then declares he's leaving because he still has things to do. He apologizes for the supposed debt, but refuses to stay any longer, and Gonzo's henchmen are shocked to see Akira free himself from the manipulation. Suddenly, the cargo truck arrives and the driver brags about bringing great supplies, but when he opens it, a zombie jumps out, throwing the station into total chaos. Gonzo tries to calm everyone down, saying it's just one zombie, but panic spreads. A terrified bus driver crashes through the station out of control, accidentally releasing the zombie prisoners Gonzo was keeping. They attack the workers, forcing Akira, Kenichiro, and Shizuka to climb on top of the trailers. Kenichiro tries to save someone but fails. Realizing he can't save everyone in the chaos, Akira then sees Gonzo being chased by zombies and instantly comes up with a plan and asks Gonzo's henchmen to help him. At that moment, Gonzo falls, and as the zombies approach, Akira appears with a food truck rescuing him. Kenichiro can't believe Akira is saving someone like Gonzo, but Akira explains that letting a hopeless guy get devoured isn't on his wish list, so he has to save him. Gonzo climbs onto the truck clumsily, and his men surround the zombies with cargo vehicles, trapping them all. Akira jumps to safety with Gonzo and sets the horde on fire with gasoline and a flare, burning them all. Everyone celebrates, impressed by Akira's heroism. Akira goes to Shizuka, and the two laugh together at his reckless attitude. Suddenly, Gonzo gets up and urges the workers to admire Akira and work hard like him. But everyone revolts, saying they've had enough. They call him a dictator and say Akira is a much better leader. Gonzo begs them to stay, but no one listens. One by one, they leave, abandoning him to cry alone at the station. Akira, Shizuka, and Kenichiro continue the journey. On the road, Akira admits to Shizuka that he blanked out when Gonzo was around. He confesses that work is exhausting, and he needs to find a job he really loves. But Shizuka reassures him, saying he doesn't need to rush since new jobs will always be created, and all he needs to do is enjoy both life and work. Akira smiles and agrees. Then Akira, Kenichiro, and Shizuka finally arrive in Gunma. While resting near the canal, Akira asks if they know about mindfulness. Shizuka responds and explains it's something often asked about in corporate jobs. Akira reveals he wants to maintain that mindset, but Kenichiro is confused about what Akira's statement has to do with the SUP yoga they're doing. The trio continues the journey to Gunma, and Akira is happy because he managed to complete several wish list items before getting there. He thinks he can finish the entire list in a month, but Shizuka reminds him only if he's not interrupted. On the road, they see zombies surrounding a truck. They assume a survivor is trapped inside because the tires blew out, so they decide to save them. Akira gets excited because it means he can use the superhero costume again. When Akira introduces himself to the zombies, the survivor suddenly jumps from the truck and defeats them like something out of Ghost of Tsushima. The survivor wears samurai attire and wields samurai weapons with incredible skill. The trio is impressed. Shizuka even thinks it looks like a drama. After defeating all the zombies, the survivor introduces herself as Beatrix. Kenichiro is surprised to see she's a foreigner. and Beatrix explains she's from Germany and is vacationing in Japan because she loves the culture. Shizuka is impressed that Beatrix even thought of samurai armor. When Akira opens the truck, he's shocked to see it full of fish. Beatrix sees them as good help and asks them to deliver the fish with her in Takasaki. Kenichiro and Shizuka consider it, thinking she wants to deliver the fish to survivors. But Beatrix explains better that since childhood she's been fascinated by Japanese culture. She saved money to travel to Japan. But when she arrived, the zombie apocalypse had already begun. She survives by trusting her passion and wants to deliver the fish in Takasaki because they said the last sushi chef is still alive there. Kenichiro and Shizuka are surprised by her reasoning, but Akira suddenly stands up and agrees to help because it fits one of his list items. On the road to meet the chef, Akira is amazed to see Gunma. Beatrix explains she talked to the sushi chef 3 days ago and hopes the Taisho is still alive. The journey stops when they see an army of zombies blocking the way. Akira and Beatrix prepare to fight but have no plan. Shizuka remembers the map she studied before and creates a strategy. The group traps the zombies in the middle of the road with a truck, and when the zombies are distracted, they throw bottles of alcohol on them. The next step is to set fire, but the matches won't light. More zombies appear, climbing onto the truck and approaching the trailer. Beatrix panics, but Akira says fear is just an excuse not to act, and he refuses to stop the journey. He'd rather become a zombie than abandon the dream of eating sushi in a nice restaurant. His words stir Beatrix, reminding her of her childhood fascination with Japanese culture. She joins Akira fighting and declares she'll never be afraid again. Together, they fight against the zombies invading the trailer. When they're cornered, music suddenly plays loudly from a drone. Beatrix notices it's her Walkman lent by Shizuka. Earlier, Shizuka prepared a plan B of using the drone to attract zombies to a point, then letting Kenichiro burn them with a Molotov cocktail. The plan works, and the zombies are destroyed. That night, they arrive at the last sushi chef's restaurant. Akira, Kenichiro, and Shizuka are amazed by the sushi he prepares, while Beatrix hesitates, but after seeing the others enjoying it, she dips the sushi in soy sauce and eats. Tears stream down her face with the bittersweet taste, making the chef cry too. The chef admits he never took a day off, not for his daughter's wedding or his wife's funeral, but seeing them enjoy his sushi, he realizes they might be his last customers, so he offers unlimited sake in celebration. The next day, Beatrix experiences her first Japanese heat wave. Kenichiro and Shizuka complain about needing a hot water bath, so Akira takes them to a hot spring. The scenery impresses them. After changing clothes, Kenichiro and Akira notice Beatrix wearing a men's kimono still providing fan service, which makes Shizuka jealous. Kenichiro changes the conversation to love, which makes Akira think of Shizuka. He says the place is better when shared with someone you're dating, but Shizuka disagrees, insisting dating is a waste of time and bad investment. She believes time should go to improving skills and getting promotions, and Akira is confused, but lets it go as they head to the baths. Akira and Kenichiro enjoy the men's bath, while Beatrix reveals the women's bath has no water because of a broken pump. The guys act cool, hoping the girls will join them to get some material. Shizuka refuses, calling them disgusting, but Beatrix insists Japanese culture says otherwise. She undresses, impressing the guys, and is ready to join the boys when zombies emerge from the men's bath. The group flees, climbing a cliff to escape, and they cry over losing the hot spring moment. At midnight, Akira wakes up thirsty and hears water. He discovers a natural hot spring in the mountains and jumps in. To his shock, Shizuka is already there. Embarrassed, they stare at each other naked, and Shizuka tries to kick him out, but Akira insists that relaxing in a hot bath is on his wish list. Shizuka reluctantly stays, and they sit apart in the water, embarrassed. Shizuka apologizes for dismissing his view on love, admitting her father's disapproval influenced her words. She opens up about herself, surprising Akira. She smiles, saying she's bad at romance. But if she falls in love, she wants to fall for someone she can be open with like she is now. Both blush heavily, realizing what Shizuka just said, and she quickly tries to explain herself. Just when Akira tries to say something, Kenichiro and Beatrix arrive. Kenichiro teases them about being together, making them even more embarrassed. Then he gets in, not wanting to be the awkward third wheel, and Beatrix also undresses and gets in, completing another wish list item, enjoying time in a hot spring bath. Years ago, before Akira went to Tokyo, he talks with his father about his needs. His father says a man without dreams is worthless compared to a jellyfish, but Akira doesn't listen because his father is just a humble country farmer. Akira and the group continue the journey to Gunma, where Kenichiro prepares a joke to impress Akira's parents. Akira is nervous about meeting them because it's been years since he last saw them, and the previous meeting was embarrassing due to different opinions about the office job. He knows it will be embarrassing again and worries about what they'll say when they find out he quit. Suddenly, Akira stops the trailer because the tunnel road to his hometown is blocked. He gets out to check, and to his shock, an army of zombies waits behind the barricade. Akira's village is right after the tunnel, and despite the excitement, Beatrix assumes the village was destroyed. But after Akira looks through the tunnel, he feels no one he knows is there. Shizuka realizes what Akira is feeling and suggests taking the forest route. They enter the forest to reach Akira's village, and Shizuka explains the tunnel is sealed because zombies from the city keep appearing, but she believes the village itself is safe. While Akira talks with her, an old man suddenly appears, chased by a zombified wild boar. The group runs to help him, and Beatrix shoots the boar with her bow, saving the man. The old guy introduces himself as Masaru, a carpenter. He explains zombies are coming from the cities, forcing him to seek safety in the forest. As a carpenter, he chooses the woods because he can easily build a house or treehouse. Masaru proudly shows his treehouse, and Akira instantly falls in love with it since building a treehouse is one of his list goals. Masaru says he's been alone in the forest for a while but doesn't mind since he's not interrupted, and zombies can't reach him because he can always build higher. While showing the treehouse, Akira offers to help him finish it. Shizuka suspects he's only doing it because it's on the wish list, but Masaru accepts the help, and Akira is ecstatic. Masaru teaches Akira and Kenichiro how to build the perfect treehouse. He says they need to understand the forest, and if they're unsure, they should ask the forest. He explains that if they learn to listen to it, they can become aware and hear nature's own voice. Akira is impressed as if the old man were Gandhi, since the lesson seems profound, and he connects it to his own life, realizing something new about the world and himself. As they continue building, Masaru praises Akira's skill, saying he reminds him of his son. When Akira asks about his son, the atmosphere sours. Masaru quietly reveals his son was bitten by his wife, and he was forced to end both of them. The memory makes Masaru lose his balance, but Akira holds him and assures him he still has Akira's support. Together, they finish the treehouse. The group enjoys it for a few hours, but Akira shocks everyone by deciding to leave immediately instead of staying longer. He explains he feels a strong urge to see his parents. Masaru understands and says he'll stay in the forest if they need him. The group says goodbye and continues toward Akira's village. They reach the dangerous gorge, the only remaining path since the tunnel is blocked. As they navigate the dangerous terrain, Akira tells stories about his hometown, and Beatrix comments, "It's an advantage since zombies would have difficulty passing through a path like this." Eventually, they clear the obstacles and see Akira's village in the distance. As they walk closer, Akira's anxiety grows. He worries his parents will be disappointed, but forces himself to stay positive, eager to see them again. When they arrive, the village seems empty, and Akira runs looking for his parents. Fear grips him, but to his surprise, the residents are gathered in a house drinking and celebrating. The moment they see him, someone shouts that Akira is back. Akira looks at his father and expresses gratitude for everything his parents did for him. But his father walks up to him and hits him on the head, scolding him for coming all this way just to say something like that. He warns Akira to think more carefully, reminding him the world is in chaos. Then he invites Akira's friends to stay for a while and goes back to work in the fields. Shizuka is surprised since she didn't expect Akira's father to act like that. At lunch, Akira's mother serves a simple meal, but they don't mind since they're starving. She explains to Shizuka that their village is remote, which helps them survive winters and even the zombie apocalypse. She reveals people from the city tried to take refuge here, but some were infected and attacked others, forcing the residents to barricade the tunnel. However, some survivors were allowed to stay and now live peacefully in the village. Beatrix gets excited and suggests Akira add renovating a house to the wish list. Akira agrees it's a good idea, but reminds himself the real reason for coming is to spend time with family and give back to his parents. After lunch, Akira's friends explore the village, enjoying the nostalgic atmosphere. Meanwhile, Akira tries to help his mother with chores, but she insists on doing them alone, telling him to rest after the long journey. He sits and watches her, feeling grateful and useless at the same time. Soon after, his father calls him to help in the fields. Akira joins him and tries to start a conversation, but his father gives only short answers, and the silence frustrates Akira. When they finish, Akira realizes he's struggling to find a way to give back to his parents. Then he notices his father grimacing in pain as a small cut on his hand bleeds, and Akira feels his father's health is failing. He helps him carry vegetables back to the village and spots a group of people arriving. Among them is a man Akira vaguely recognizes, and his father explains the man came from the city, but Akira is uneasy since they seem to be heading toward the tunnel. That man is Kanta, who once lived in the city, unemployed after corporations refused to hire him. One day, while buying cigarettes, he saw a zombie devouring someone. Terrified, he ran only to discover the entire city was overrun. But instead of despair, Kanta felt liberated. For the first time, he was free. Free to do whatever he wanted. He and others looted convenience stores and formed a group. Together, they created a list of 100 things to do before becoming zombies. But unlike Akira's list, Kanta's group filled theirs with reckless and immoral acts, degenerate and selfish desires born from chaos and bitterness. Days later, Akira tries dreadlocks as part of the list and calls himself Dreadlock Farmer after Sakura fixes his hair. Then they sit together where Sakura reveals she worked in a salon for a decade. Nagisa and Ayumi are also there and reveal they used to be a makeup artist and teacher in Tokyo. Nagisa shows Akira she used to do makeup for a zombie movie Akira watched before, and Nagisa says she should have worked on the sequel, but it was cancelled because the fake zombies turned into real zombies. Since then, Nagisa has been traumatized because she was attacked by real zombies and tells the story of that terrifying moment. She starts crying, but Ayumi calms her down, saying everyone has their own struggles arriving at the village. Each day she lives there, she feels more grateful and wants to continue living in the village because they accepted her immediately. Nagisa is touched and feels calmer. Meanwhile, Shizuka is making rice in the kitchen when Tom suddenly enters and is surprised that a girl like Shizuka can cook rice the traditional way. Tom explains that cooking rice over fire is the best way because it makes the rice tastier. Shizuka learns something new and finds the best way to cook rice in the zombie apocalypse. Suddenly, an old man hugs Shizuka from behind and tries to get handsy with her. Tom immediately drags the man away and explains to Shizuka he's always been like this since his wife died. Then a man enters and asks Tom for some bandages because he cut his hand while hanging something. Shizuka tells how to treat him better and more efficiently, surprising both Tom and the man. Soon, news spreads that Shizuka understands medicine, which makes her famous in the village as a doctor, even though she only learned by reading. Meanwhile, Kenichiro explores the village and finds a septic tank. An old man explains it's for fertilizer for the fields, and that a local myth says if someone jumps inside, they'll become younger. Kenichiro refuses to try and asks who the sad little girl sitting with a dog is. The old man explains the girl came from the city, lost her parents, and the dog is all she has left. Kenichiro goes to talk to her and tries to impress her with juggling skills, and the girl asks if Kenichiro is crazy, but Kenichiro says it's courtesy to greet a girl, whether young or old. Then he says that in Italy, if a girl smiles, you have to compliment her out of courtesy. The girl laughs because she knows Kenichiro isn't from Italy, but realizes he just wanted to make her smile. Kenichiro introduces himself to the girl, who introduces herself as Anju, but Kenichiro decides to call her Angie to feel closer to her. Meanwhile, Beatrix visits the water wheels that produce electricity for the village. She's fascinated by Japanese culture and finds the system ingenious. An old lady explains the fences to her, saying they protect the village from zombie boars and bears. The old lady also shows Beatrix a residual current circuit breaker and warns never to touch it because it's dangerous. Later, Ayumi gives a motivational talk to Akira and the others about the connection between residents. She says even though the village is limited, the closeness between people makes her happy, something city life could never offer. Akira is deeply touched by Ayumi's words and remembers them. At noon, while Akira works in the fields, Kenichiro appears to encourage him. Then Kanta passes by, and Kenichiro calls him. When Kanta sees Akira, he immediately runs away. Akira doesn't recognize him, but Kenichiro remembers Kanta used to be in their college class before he stopped showing up and became a disgusting recluse. Kanta is furious seeing Akira and Kenichiro because of his bitter past with them. Then a wicked idea forms in his mind to trick Akira. That night, Akira drinks with his father, seeing it as a good chance to talk. He notices his father seems older and smaller. Akira tells his father he likes village life and wants to help with the family work. But his father says a man must follow his biggest dream, which makes Akira furious because he wants to give back to his parents. Then Akira realizes his father never achieved his own dream and asks what it was. His father says when viewed from space, Earth is small, and he once dreamed of becoming an astronaut, but was too dumb and too old. Akira laughs, realizing his father is joking, but then his father tells the truth that the dreadlocks don't suit him at all, and they both laugh like father and son. At midnight, a girl breaks the circuit breaker with a chainsaw, smiling as she does it. At the same time, Kanta and his friends release the zombies in the tunnel, because Kanta's wish list includes destroying society and turning everyone he hates into zombies. While the residents are drinking, Beatrix watches the horses. Kenichiro plays with Anju, and Akira drinks with his father when zombies suddenly attack the village. Hearing the noise, Akira runs to the fields and sees part of the village on fire. His father tells him to save his friends while he goes to protect Akira's mother. Shizuka sees zombies approaching, but the hunting team manages to take down several before retreating because there are too many. Kanta laughs maniacally, controlling the horde and completing more items from his twisted list, like shooting with a real gun. Shizuka can't believe the village is burning and could be destroyed. Kenichiro carries Anju while zombies chase them, but Beatrix arrives, cutting down zombies with her katana to save them. Kenichiro, Beatrix, Shizuka, and Akira regroup, and Shizuka says they need to save the residents. Kenichiro suggests escaping through the fence, but it's high voltage. Beatrix insists it only shocks animals, but when Kenichiro tests it, he gets shocked. Beatrix realizes the residents must have been wrong, and the circuit breaker is destroyed, meaning they're trapped. Suddenly, Kanta and his friends arrive in a dump truck, laughing and enjoying the chaos. They realize Kanta caused everything, and Kanta declares that before becoming a zombie, his wish list is to ruin everything Akira loves, because he's always hated how happy Akira could be. Shizuka is horrified by his motive, but Akira tells Kanta he respects his desire to do what he wants because he's doing the same. But Akira reminds him that if he wants to use freedom, he needs to respect others' freedom too. Kanta is stunned. Akira shows his unfinished wish list and says he won't give up yet. Kanta says he hasn't finished his either, so they need to complete theirs before the zombies get them. While they argue, Anju looks for her dog. Beatrix goes to try to fix the circuit breaker, but is followed by one of Kanta's friends. Akira tells Shizuka he needs to give back to his parents, which he doesn't fully understand but relates to emotionally. After Shizuka goes to help the residents, Kenichiro notices Anju is missing and tells Akira he has to find her. Akira and Kenichiro split up once more, promising to meet up later. As the group divides to pursue their wish lists, Kanta orders his friends to do whatever they want, but more importantly, destroy Akira's hope and watch his village fall into chaos. While Kanta controls the zombie horde, Akira fights through the swarm, determined to save his parents and give back to them. Akira's parents are trapped inside a house with Nagisa and Ayumi, where his father almost faints from being sick. Meanwhile, Anju runs frantically through the village looking for her dog. She finally finds him, getting frisky with a chicken. But before she can react, Kenichiro appears and covers her mouth with his hand, warning that zombies are nearby. He whispers they need to be cautious. Anju starts crying, saying the dog is the only thing she has left. Kenichiro lifts her onto a nearby roof so the zombies can't reach them. Suddenly, Shigenobu appears and tells Kenichiro how miserable his life has been. Consumed by resentment, Shigenobu tries to push Kenichiro into the horde, but Kenichiro manages to hold on and fights back. Meanwhile, Beatrix reaches the water wheel, trying to stop it to save the village's power system, but Tuko appears and attacks her, bragging she once won a fencing championship. Tuko breaks Beatrix's katana, but Beatrix quickly draws a backup blade, and their fierce duel begins. Elsewhere, Shizuka tries to convince Sho and the other elders to flee with her, but they refuse, saying they're too old to move fast. They tell her to leave them and save herself, but seeing the zombies surrounding the area, Shizuka decides to lure them away, acting without calculation for the first time. Inside the barricaded house, Akira's parents and the others remain trapped as the zombies close in. Suddenly, Akira bursts in, taking down several zombies. As he fights, he shouts everything he always wanted to do for his parents. His father, hearing the words, is moved to tears. When Akira is about to be overwhelmed, his father pulls him inside and says if he really wants to give back, he must take care of his mother before going out to sacrifice himself. Shigenobu's past flashes through his mind. He once had a married life he found suffocating. While his neighbor got promoted, he felt stuck and constantly compared by his wife. Every night he escaped to bars and internet cafes, blaming his wife for all misfortunes. Naoki, on the other hand, once worked at a fancy restaurant, but his laziness made everyone despise him. Shizuka escapes from the zombies and hides in a field, but the new ditty Naoki appears, and singing is one of his wishlist goals. Horrified, Shizuka runs, but Naoki stops and curses his bad luck again for ruining the moment. Meanwhile, the original ditty, Hikoemon, wakes up, feeling his wife's spirit guiding him. Beatrix and Tuko continue the intense fight. Tuko is impressed by Beatrix's skill, but grows impatient and turns on the chainsaw, attracting zombies closer. Beatrix calls her evil, but Tuko, trembling with rage, starts talking about her miserable past, and the more she remembers, the more violent her strikes become. Elsewhere, Kenichiro still fights with Shigenobu. As Shigenobu talks about his wife, Kenichiro interrupts him, telling the truth that he's the problem, since he's nothing but a deadbeat husband who never appreciated his wife. Shigenobu loses it and pushes Kenichiro, but Kenichiro drags him along. Zombies approach and Shigenobu panics. Thinking fast, Kenichiro dives into the septic tank to hide while Shigenobu, terrified, runs toward the fence and gets electrocuted. Cornered again, Shizuka prepares to be attacked until Hikoman rallies the old residents to save her, shouting they've survived harder things than zombies. Shizuka distracts Naoki by talking about changing luck, which infuriates him. He points a gun at her, but Hikoman arrives in time and shoots the gun from Naoki's hand. Shizuka sighs in relief, and Naoki advances on her again, but the elders run, knocking him out of respect for Shizuka's courage. As Naoki lies defeated, he still blames bad luck. Shizuka says luck only changes when behavior changes. Turning to the elders, she thanks them, saying she's the lucky one to have them. Back to the duel of the two badasses, Tuco screams at Beatrix that people with distorted ideals deserve to be eaten by zombies. Beatrix counters that Tuco's mentality is her own downfall, and her normal life isn't universal. Tuco refuses to listen, but taking advantage of her anger, Beatrix lures the zombies to the water wheel. As they crowd, she climbs on it, using the movement to jam the mechanism and cut the power. The wheel falls, almost crushing Tuco. She dodges, shocked at being bested by a foreigner, but Beatrix leaves her behind, and the zombies devour Tuco where she stands. Meanwhile, Akira's father fights desperately outside the house, cutting down zombies. Akira tries to open the door to help, but his father yells for him to keep it closed or everyone will die. Akira watches helplessly as his father battles the undead. When only 3 remain, his father suddenly clutches his chest, his heart failing. He collapses, realizing his time has come, ready to die, protecting his family. At that moment, Kanta drives a dump truck, running over the zombies and saving Akira's father, but his intentions are dark. He smiles maliciously and tells Akira he wants to see him become a zombie. Holding Akira's father hostage, Kanta forces Akira into an impossible choice between saving his father or saving everyone. When Kanta was little, he had many friends and spent every summer day at pool parties. But as he grows older, friends start noticing he's naturally introverted and eventually drift away, leaving him alone. For years, Kanta spent time in solitude, whether at school or at home. When he enters college, he tries to change, doing everything he can to make friends, but everyone still sees him the same way, an introvert. One day, he becomes furious at the fact he can't change, and then he sees Akira laughing cheerfully with friends. Envy burns inside him since Akira always seems happy, effortlessly surrounded by people. Now, in a twisted act of resentment, Kanta holds Akira's father hostage, wanting to destroy the happiness he never had. Akira is cornered and doesn't know what to do. When he prepares to go out, his father forbids it, warning that opening the door could risk everyone's lives. Akira protests he can't just sit and watch his father die, but his father calmly reveals his time is limited anyway. Confused, Akira learns from his mother that his father is sick, and not even doctors know how to cure it. Desperate, Akira insists there must be a way to cure him so they can live as a family again. But his father smiles slightly and says that to truly give back, Akira has to help humanity. And if Akira can do that one day, his father says he'll be proud even in death. Akira feels the weight of his father's words pressing down, remembering all his friends and family's struggles. Meanwhile, outside, Kanta waits impatiently for Akira to emerge. When Akira doesn't come out, Kanta gets agitated. Just when he's about to throw Akira's father to the zombies, the front door opens. Kanta and Akira's father are shocked to see Akira appearing, apparently as a zombie. They scream in disbelief, calling him an idiot, and Kanta explodes in hysterical laughter, claiming victory. He mocks Akira, saying now he'll never enjoy life again. But Akira suddenly lunges forward and pulls Kanta to the ground, stunning him. Kanta freezes since Akira should be a zombie. Then he realizes Akira returned to human form, leaving him completely confused. Earlier, before saving his father, Akira had come up with a plan to disguise himself as a zombie. Nagisa, a skilled makeup artist, helps him achieve it. With the zombie cosplay complete, which is another item crossed off the wish list, Akira opens the door to lure real zombies inside. As they invade, the girls fight them, giving Akira the chance to act and save his father. While everyone worries about Akira's father, Kanta mocks Akira, saying his plan failed, but Kanta's knees start trembling. Akira then quietly asks what his true wish list is. Kanta hesitates, memories flooding back of him, and his friends swimming in the public pool under the sun, laughing. He confesses all he wanted was to relive that memory one last time. Akira says he's a fool for doing such evil things when he could have shared that joy with them. When Kanta once saw Akira laughing with friends, Akira had actually invited Kanta to have lunch with them, but being shy, Kanta ran away. They looked at him strangely, everyone except Akira, who didn't judge him. Suddenly in the present, Kanta is bitten by a zombie. Furious, he crushes the creature, but the infection spreads. He starts crying as the virus penetrates his mind. But before transforming completely, Akira hugs him and says if he becomes a zombie, he wants to swim together with him in a pool as two buddies. Kanta blushes, embarrassed, and runs away, forcing Akira to let him go. Kanta runs through nature chased by zombies until he reaches a river. There he sees the same public pool from childhood. As he stares, he sees a zombified Akira already floating inside. Remembering Akira's words, Kanta enters the water to join him, keeping the promise. Meanwhile, Akira reaches the fences where the residents are gathered as well as his friends. He's confused by Kenichiru's dirty and smelly appearance. Shizuka reminds him zombies were chasing them. Everyone panics, not knowing how to escape the fence. Suddenly, Beatrix arrives riding a massive water wheel. She can't stop it, crashing through the fence and opening a way for everyone to flee. Akira leads the group toward a suspension bridge, only to discover the bridge is gone. All hope seems lost until Masaru appears, throwing Akira a replacement bridge. Akira and Kenichiru hold the bridge firm while everyone crosses. When the zombies almost reach them, the two men jump together to the other side. Shizuka and Beatrix fear they fell, but to their surprise, Akira and Kenichiru cling to the ropes, pulling themselves to safety. As they climb, Akira tells Kenichiru that Kanta just wanted friends. Kenichiru calls Kanta a fool for doing evil things, but Akira insists anyone could end up like him, including himself, who almost lost himself once in the emptiness of the office job. Back on solid ground, Akira's father praises him for saving the entire village, completing another of Akira's wish list dreams. Days later, the residents seal the tunnel full of zombies and begin rebuilding. Under Masaru's leadership, construction progresses quickly. Tome thanks Shizuka for helping the elders regain hope and continue living. Kenichiru and Anju rebuild the fences together, and Kenichiru notices Anju seems like a new person. She says she just cried over zombies because someone finally made her smile, thanking the next Kevin Hart Kenichiru for cheering her up. That night, Akira cares for his sick father. His mother says his father always worried about him, not because of the zombie apocalypse, but since the day Akira went to Tokyo. Overcome with emotion, Akira promises if anything happens, he'll take care of his mother in the village. Then his mother reveals the truth. His father only has hemorrhoids. The group is stunned by the stupid disease and Akira bursts out laughing in relief. Still smiling, he remembers his father's advice to dream big. Suddenly, Akira stands up and announces he's leaving the village to travel the country, save the world, and cure his father's hemorrhoids. His friends are shocked, but his father beams with pride at his son's big dream. Akira writes a new entry on the wish list: cure father's hemorrhoids. Then he invites everyone to add their own dreams. The group gathers around scribbling new goals for the next adventure, bringing a proud smile to Akira's parents. The next morning, Akira and his friends say goodbye. Shizuka reminds Hikoman she's not his wife. Anju cries and tells Kenichiru to come back soon. And Akira's mother hands over cooked seaweed so he won't starve on the road. Before leaving, Akira's father promises to take care of his wife, making Akira smile. As they depart, Akira suggests going north where many survivors supposedly are, while others joke about going to America to make the vaccine. Days pass as they fight zombies and meet other survivors. Instead of immediately searching for the cure, they take time to sightsee, laugh, and enjoy the journey. And that's it for today, folks. Comment down below Zombie Girlfriend if you watched until the end. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.